Welcome, everyone, to the Med Spa Accelerator Podcast, brought to you by Everable Marketing, the go-to resource so you can get the latest hacks and best practices so that you can market and grow a profitable medical aesthetics practice. Welcome, everyone, to the Med Spa Accelerator Podcast. I'm your host, Luis Trevino, and I'm joined with our co-host,
Maripili Menchaca.
How's it going?
How's it going?
It is day, I don't know what it is. I was watching, so we like watching Trevor Noah's Daily Show on YouTube because we don't have cable, right?
And that's the social distancing.
The social distancing show. And on the 31st, which was yesterday, he said it was day 60. I guess New York has been quarantined for 60 days now. That is crazy.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I guess it just depends on where you're at, because I just heard that Arizona just barely is getting shut down.
Yeah. Apparently the governor's wife owns a ton of med spas, so.
Oh, really?
I heard that from one of our clients. I don't know if that's true or not.
Well, if you know, let us know in the comments below.
Yeah. But anyway, hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are staying sane.
Yes.
It feels so healthy. Weird staying out, going outside. It's like we're going outside, it's kind of funny.
We're going for groceries. Get your hazard suit on. It is so weird.
Gosh.
It just
weird.
feels like the longer we've been doing this, like the more, like, I don't want to say normal, but it just feels like, okay, well, this is the routine now. We just need to wipe all of our groceries now.
Yeah. We got to wipe everything down. So this, it's...
Yes. How are you guys feeling?
Well, hope you guys are doing okay. I know things are difficult right now. A lot of people are kind of going through a lot of, tough situations. Mm-hmm. That being said, some updates on the emergency relief disaster emergency loans, and then also the CARE Act.
Oh, yeah.
Emergency loans I guess it's a grant, is already available, but it's $10 billion of grant money for businesses, guys. So honestly, go and apply. We'll add the link somewhere here in this video.
Probably the blog post.
Yeah. And go and apply ASAP, because there's only a limited amount that is going to be distributed, and so it's first come, first serve. So you can get $10,000.
It's pretty easy, right?
It's super easy. You're going to get $10,000 for free, okay? And so hopefully, that helps out a little bit. And then the application is super simple.
Yeah.
Like, we did it yesterday, and we did it in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And because it's all online, so it's super easy. So guys, go. And so I think when the CARE Act, I think the CARE Act is not currently taking applications, to my understanding, but they're getting ready to do that in the next 2 weeks. That being said, I believe it's 8 weeks of your staff salary times 2.5, and that's the loan amount that you can apply for, or that's the loan that could be forgiven. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure, but make sure to talk to your accountants and see how they can help you through this. So I got word that some accountants were just like charging people like for having them do this stuff for them.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of unfortunate. Especially with somebody that you have on retainer. Like, if it's like a one-time thing, fine, it makes sense. They might charge you, hey, they need to make money too, right? But if it's somebody that obviously you have on retainer, and it's somebody that works with you on a month-to-month basis, shouldn't be charged.
Charge for that?
Yeah, an extra charge for that. Fine, if you need to pay somebody a little bit extra, but don't let it be like a big amount. Our accountant was doing it for free. And I didn't even do it through our accountant. I just did it because I knew how to do it,
But like you said, it's not so hard. Like, you can do it by yourself.
Yeah, it's not hard at all.
And there was something also about doing it through the bank.
Yeah, so the other option, because you can do it through SBA, or you can actually do it through your bank. The issue with the bank is that it will take longer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so just keep that in mind.
Yeah, but also all of these resources and links are in our Med Spa Survival Guide.
Med Spa Survival Guide, guys. So don't forget, if you haven't already signed up for that, it's an online training that we put together with a ton of resources for everything that's going on right now. So if you haven't signed up for that, there's a link somewhere around here as well. And make sure to go ahead and click on that sign up and then create your account, and then you'll be able to have access to all of that content. So
it's completely free, and it's not really a downloadable.
Yeah, it's not downloadable, even though it might
like
we call it a guide. It's a course. It's like an online portal, and then it has all this training.
It has all the resources. And actually, in today's episode, we're going to be talking about one of the main things that we talk in the Med Spa Survival Guide, and it's called Embracing the Downtime.
Embracing the Downtime, guys. But before we start diving into today's topic, what do people need to do?
You need to subscribe. I think if you have not subscribed to the podcast and you've been listening to us for a while, it's time you do it.
Come on, guys.
All we have right now, it's time.
Yeah. Give us a like, subscribe, leave us a review.
Yes.
Join our Facebook group.
Yes.
Also, don't forget, join our Facebook group. We have a Facebook community of other people just like you that are trying to keep their business alive, trying to figure out how they're going to pay their staff, how they're going to pay their bills, and then obviously how to grow their business as well. So make sure to join us on the Facebook group as well.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and dive into.
Actually, brings me to our first point. Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
All
we're diving in already.
Awesome.
So the first thing, well, first off, I guess I just kind of want to say, embracing the downtime to me is kind of like. We're all in this panic mode, right? Like we were in it for a little bit as far as like, okay, what should we do right now? And if you are at the point where your doors are closed, your staff is working from home, or you had to get rid of, well, not get rid of your stuff, but like kind of like pause them for a bit, lay them off, whatever that looks like for you right now. I know it's hard. Like, let's just start there. However, and we've said this before, like as entrepreneurs, we just can't just stay like doing nothing. We have to keep working. And one of the main things that, and one of the beautiful things, I guess, of this time, if you want to see it this way, is that you can actually be working on your business.
Yes.
Because you're not in the day-to-day, because you're not doing, like your usual routine, you can actually sit down and do all of those little things that you've been wanting to do on your business, right?
100%. Yeah, and that's like, I know a lot of people, like just from talks and different things like that, a lot of them are like kind of seeing this as like a little vacation or something like that. It is not a vacation, guys. It is the perfect time for you to start working on your business instead of in it, so that you can make sure that you can, when you reopen again, that you come back to a full calendar, you come back to immediately bringing cash flow in, and that you're in a better position than when you close the doors. In regards to your operations, organizing your stuff, your brand, your marketing, your advertising. You're coming in with a plan versus just kind of like, okay, well now, what now?
Yes, exactly. And to be honest, I don't think we're gonna go to a normal anymore. Like this is going to change. How we interact with each other, how we interact with other businesses, how businesses see other businesses. So we also have to put ourselves in that mentality of like, this is a great time for improvement. So if you have that downtime right now and you can improve on your systems, on yourself, maybe taking some courses, wink, wink, or, like just improving overall your service, whatever it is that your craft, whatever it is that you do, I feel like this is a great time to do it. We have like some ideas for you of what to do. Maybe you're a little bit stuck and you don't know where to start. We got you.
All right, so what are some of the things people can start doing?
So back to my point earlier.
I was like, did you touch on that? Yeah.
Yes. My first point is actually seeking community. I feel like right now as entrepreneurs, we might feel a little bit alone. Like even before everything happened, as business owners, sometimes we might just feel alone. Like people don't understand why you're working 20 hours a day, or why you're doing the things that you're doing, or the way you're doing things. So right now, I feel like, especially right now, seeking that community is critical to us staying sane, and to us just making sure that we can pass through this time, right? And not only survive it, but actually thrive it, which is what we've been talking about in our guide. So that's why I was saying, like, check out the Facebook group. I think it is a great place to start. Not only is it other business owners like yourself, but also they have a med spa or something related to you. So that is a great opportunity to just create this group and just make sure that, connect with each other. Maybe you don't know where to start. Maybe you're not too sure where are the resources, or what are they doing, or just sharing ideas. Seeking that community is gonna definitely make sure that you keep sane.
For sure. Yeah, guys, I mean, honestly, like being in business, being an entrepreneur is very lonely. Or it can feel lonely at least, right? And so being able to discuss, your challenges, your issues, even your wins with other people that obviously are kind of like just like you, I guess at the end of the day, like it's very valuable, right?
Yes.
So just kind of help you kind of make sure that we keep pushing forward, right. Specifically now, which is obviously because of everything going on, it's being an entrepreneur is a lot harder than it was a month ago or 2 months ago.
Yes, and then seeking that community over competition.
For sure.
Like we've said before, like right now, this moment,
we're
like
all in this together.
Yes, you just gave out our age, babe.
I know. Hilarious.
But yeah, I think that's like the first one. If you haven't done so, I would definitely recommend for you to go in there and check it out.
For sure.
Okay, so the next point I think would be updating everything. Actually, I think that would be one of the first things you do. For sure, this is the time that you have to actually sit down and really see when was the last time you updated everything in your business, right?
For sure.
So I would start first with your website.
Yeah.
I think this is the most logical one. Just when was the last time you actually went in there and updated all of your services? Is there a service in there that is no longer part of your services, or you maybe upgrade. You're missing services. Yeah. Maybe you upgraded a machine and you don't have the same one. Maybe it has different benefits
staff members too.
Yes. Maybe you have the same staff members that are not with you anymore, or you have new ones that you don't have them. They're like their photo or anything else in there.
Or you just have like a pretty old looking website and it's just time for an update, guys. So,
There's so many programs out there where you can easily create a website, or you can hire somebody if you have the resources to create a website for you. This would be actually the greatest time for you to rebrand, which actually brings me to another one, your branding.
Your branding, yeah, super important. One of the things that we tell our clients all the time is like you can't be in the aesthetics business and not look the part, specifically with your brand. Right?
Yes.
So super important.
If you started your business a few years ago, maybe it's time for a facelift, So definitely make sure to have that in there. When was the last time you checked your business cards? Do you even use them anymore?
Yeah.
Maybe you need something different that you can actually use, like appointment cards or referral cards or rack cards, whatever that looks like in your business. Just go in there and start creating all that content, whether you have that savvy eye to create something, maybe using something like Canva or
Canva's
Vistaprint.
Canva, Vistaprint, those are some really great resources.
Yeah, exactly. The other one that I was going to say that people always forget is your online presence. So I would just suggest go and Google your business. And every single site where you come out, go in there. A lot of these sites, you can actually, they just randomly create business profiles, such as Yelp or Yellow Pages, stuff like that.
For sure.
And you can actually claim those.
Yeah, claim those. Make sure that you have all the correct information.
Yes.
And all your information, because sometimes it's just bits and pieces of information, but it's not, it doesn't have everything. So
yeah. And pro tip here, if you are actually closed during this time, I would suggest to go into your Google My Business, the actual profile, and update your content information there, that you're actually closed. And you can even add an update post in there why you're closed right now, because a lot of people might just look, for right now I feel like everybody kind of knows that everything's closed, but it is a great way to update Google and update your customers. Anybody who's kind of searching for you, you can tell them hey, we are closed, but this is why. Or if you are doing something online consultations or whatnot,
sure.
you can always add that link in there, make sure that it's visible, so that way, even though you might be closed, you still have options.
Yeah, that's another big one. Like if you're now offering virtual consults, if you're now selling gift cards, if you're now selling stimulus promotion packages, you need to have those on your website. You need to have those on your social media accounts everywhere.
Yes, and we actually have an upcoming episode about like some marketing strategies that you can use, but that's coming out next week.
Yeah, so make sure to stay tuned.
Yes. What else can they update?
Yeah, so the other thing is basically going to be like some of your contracts, agreements, or patient forms. Okay.
Oh, yes.
So super important. You might not you might not use any, agreements or anything like that, but a part of that is also like you would if you actually did memberships, like if you had membership programs, which honestly I would say is one of the biggest things that you could really work on right now, because those are game changers, to be honest.
Yeah.
I always say membership programs are like the holy grail of business.
Yes. Yes.
So it's perfect time to start doing research on that, to start looking at what you can do to kind of put that together, make it attractive, and then the agreements that you need to have in place so those can actually work for you. So those are going to be some really good ones.
And then contracts too, I think it could include if you are leasing any machinery and your space where you're at, contracts with your staff, whatever, like there are so many others that just to make sure that they are updated, they are up to par.
A part of one of those forms is like a cosmetic interest form.
Oh, yes.
So that's going to be a really good one so that you can update, make sure if you don't even have one, then it's a perfect time to work on one.
And I would even go as far as saying like create an online one.
Yeah.
That way it's just going to be easier for you to integrate it using less paper, which it's a great bonus. And you can, have easy access to that.
For sure. Patient Gem, it's like an online survey. So Patient Gem, we actually do that for some of our clients. You can also even do it on Google Forms if you want to just make it even easier. We have another client doing that as well. That's
there's a lot of options.
A lot of options out there. Just Google some, right?
Yes.
That being said, I think one of the other big ones is updating your contact list.
Oh my gosh, yes. I mean, especially if you started your business a long time ago, you probably have already like thousands of people in your contact list.
And they might be all over the place in different platforms.
Yes, and if you have a software where you can like send out emails, you can see who's opened them, who hasn't, how long ago they opened it. So you can just start, cleaning out those lists and seeing like even segmenting them. I think we talked about this in another episode where we said like it is a great way to utilize your list to its purpose, right? And to make sure that people that are actually interested more in one thing over the other get the information that you want to put out there. So segmenting your list is a great way, and it does take time. So I mean, if that's all you have right now, go for it.
Now the next one, which I think is going to be super amazing, is building workflows.
Yes, I'm excited about this one. As operations, I love workflows. I think they make everything so much easier and smoother. And there are so many workflows in your business, starting from like follow-ups, right? Like what happens, and I think we talked about this in the customer journey. What happens in every touch point of that customer journey, but you just go into like what is it that you and your staff are doing and need to get done, or what needs to happen every single time when that touch point happens.
For sure. And that's the thing too. So make sure to reference that episode where we talked about the ultimate patient journey. That being said, there's certain best practices so that you can get your patients from point A to point B, right? So there's a few things to be looking at there. But part of that is planning out like every single touch point and then creating systems, workflows, and operations procedures to make sure that runs as smoothly as possible, right?
Yes.
And because a big part of this embracing this downtime, guys, is looking at your business like I guess objectively, and trying to figure out, okay, what areas of the business need for me to work on? Is it my sales? Is it my lead gen? Is it my operations? Is it my team? Like certain things like that.
Communication within your team.
There's all these little factors as point of play, and you as a business owner, as a CEO, right? Your job consists of looking at your business, identifying where there's certain problems, and then implementing solutions for those problems.
Right. And I feel like workflows are a great way because and what we call like SOPs, right? Like making sure that everything is kind of outlined as to what needs to happen, who needs to do what is automated, what needs to, like be updated, whatever, that looks like needs to be said and needs to be communicated throughout your staff.
100%. So that's going to be really good.
Yeah. And then also like your follow-up, like we said, like with, your workflow of follow-ups.
Sure.
Which a lot of that can be automated.
A lot of that can be actually done through Patient Gym.
Another plug-in there.
Yeah. So I mean, like with Patient Gym, obviously, kind of having those workflows of communications to clients and different follow-up systems and different things like that. Your nurturing sequences, all of that stuff. Definitely with Patient Gym. I mean, of course, you can do that too with MailChimp, Constant Contact, Active Campaign, other services. But the benefit to using Patient Gym is that it's all in one place. Not only is it your communications, but it's also you're tracking your pipeline, tracking like where your clients are at within the purchasing process, your landing pages, your emails, your text messages, all that in one place. So it's pretty legit.
Yeah, that's what I really like about it.
For sure.
So the other thing that I would suggest if you are kind of like just have a lot of time in your hands would be creating content.
Yes.
Content creation and content marketing, we've talked about this before, is just going to be huge right now.
I would say it's like one of the most important things right now, aside from working on your operation stuff, like extending your brand and, and the way you're going to do that is by putting out more content.
Yeah, especially because right now your people can't really go to your place, can't have that service done. The one thing that you can do is service them with a lot of education.
For sure.
So, I mean, within the survival guide, we actually have a whole page of like what you can be creating content about. And spoiler alert, it is video.
Yeah.
We did talk a lot about video. Of course, there are some other options in there, such as ebooks and infographics and whatnot, but honestly, nothing beats video. And if you have the time, even if your staff is actually working still with you and they have the time to create some videos with you or from their own home, I think that's going to be huge.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, honestly, we can't stress that enough. Like, if you're not really doing anything right now, like, the one thing you should be doing is just creating video content for your different services, for your I mean, there's, like, basically just education. And so if you need ideas for that, go ahead and make sure to sign up for the Med Spa Survival Guide on the link so you can check that out.
Yeah, and there are so many. I think I didn't even put half of everything that could be done. These are just some to actually just kind of start that spark and just get it going.
For sure.
So, and then that kind of brings me along to the next point, which is working on your email list. I mean, we already talked about like your patient list, and of course you want to make sure to segment that and update it.
Sure.
But you want to keep bringing in people, even if it's not for an actual service, you want to make sure to have them in your email list.
Yeah, you want to build your list.
Right. So you can keep on giving them a lot of education, a lot of content, and finally once they, there's something that they are really interested in, they'll probably, once you're open, come to you because you've already like spent all this time with them, giving them that education, telling them about your services, what you do, why you do it. So making sure that those two kind of go hand in hand right now. So of course you want to create content for maybe the entire year or for years to come, but also making sure that you have a purpose for that content, right? Don't just let it sit there in your camera, in your phone. Actually create something with it so that you can build on that email list.
For sure. The next one, we kind of briefly talked about it, but your membership structure. So again, that's going to be like something super important for you to be working on during this time. You need to have a membership program. So, again, I tell people all the time, like, look, don't reinvent the wheel. Like, just go find, like, somebody else that maybe you've heard of before, somebody you admire that has a membership program, and just try to model or use as inspiration, what they have, obviously leveraging the services that you do have, because you might not have those same services. But that's going to be a really easy way to go about it. Just do a ton of research and then look to see how you can implement some of those things, and then whatever makes sense for you financially.
Right, exactly. And also what makes sense for your audience. So maybe they are already asking you for something and you haven't even realized of like, okay, these people kind of come for the same thing. Or if we package these together, it's actually better for the results, right? 100%. So you just want to make sure that you package them according to what your people want and need.
For sure. And then staff training, guys, is the other point. Super good time for you to be investing in your team. Because that's the thing right now. It's like, a lot of people had to put their team on pause or maybe let go of some of those people. But honestly, I would say, and then part of obviously some of the CARE Act and different things like that is that they're trying to reinforce not letting your people go.
Right.
So perfect time right now just to do training on them, on the different things that you feel like they might need work on,
Yeah. Under this, I think I had like a bunch of other like ideas. Like, what about doing an online retreat with your team? Like, this is a great time to actually bring everybody together through like a platform, like a video conferencing platform.
You don't necessarily, that's the other thing too. It's like, well, I mean, I can't see my team because we're, shelter in place or whatever, but you can still do, video conference calls, you can do a phone call, etc.
Right. And I would definitely encourage the video conferencing just because it has this like more intimate thing, you kind of see them. Everybody is at their own place, but you can still see them, and you can do a little retreat, kind of build in on that team culture, right? You might want to do some staff training. Maybe you already worked on all those workflows and you have new stuff and you want to, deliver that to your team. Maybe you want to do some like training on best practices to answer the phones, or maybe something new, a new machine that you just got, new technology that you're going to be putting out there. Whatever that is, I think this is a great time, because that way also your staff feels like they are still working, they're still putting some effort in building your business with you. And they might also have some things that you might not even have known that were kind of missing in your business. Maybe something that they're having trouble with, or they don't know how to communicate that. So I think like that's what a great purpose of the retreat could be too. Not only building that team culture, but seeing where in your business are they having trouble in and what are the solutions. They might even have their own solutions to kind of fix this, right?
Yeah, that's the thing too, like just kind of opening up the floor to kind of hearing from them as far as like what are some things that they feel can be improved upon. And so that'll be and then once they tell you that, we'll get them to work on it.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, honestly, like that's the way you build a team, right? And that's how you start to build leaders in your organization versus just people that do whatever you tell them.
Yes, 100%. And then the last one I would suggest is just preparing for the future. Ooh. So we all know that by now, I think they said that April 30th might be the last day. We don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
They might even push it more. But I think it is a good time, especially if you are still selling services for the future. There is going to be a point where you're going to have to work twice as hard because you have all of these kind of backed up, right?
For sure.
So making sure that your workflows are in place, that your staff is trained, that you have the capacity to fulfill everything that is going to be coming up in the future, and just thinking about a plan, having something to set yourself up for success when that time comes, when you have to open your doors again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so 100%, like whatever it is that you need to do, I mean, in regards to, you can start, like all of these things that we talked about today are things that you can, obviously that you're doing to prepare for the future. But one of the biggest things that you can invest on right now is definitely your marketing, your advertising, extending your brand, building the content. All those things are going to help prepare you for the future so that you can make sure you come back to a booked calendar versus having to wait to get your people back and then having to wait another week or two to do an actual consultation. Then if they don't purchase treatment right then and there, but they need to get back to you on the decision another week or another 2 weeks. So now you're looking at another potential up to 4 weeks of starting to bring cash flow in, which is going to really, hurt your business. So the sooner, the more we can guarantee a booked calendar for when you return, the better position you're going to be in once you do, open your doors again. So if you need help with that, or you have ideas, feel free to reach out to us. But we have a ton of content that you can start doing today, a ton of ideas that you can start implementing today by just watching and going through our training with the Med Spa Survival Guide. So please, guys, we really put our heart and soul into that training, and we really, would love for you to take advantage of that. So make sure to check the link out.
Yeah.
All you have to do is sign up, then create your account. And actually, once you do that, you will also have access to our calendar. If you want to have talk to us about some of the things that we're helping our clients implement and how we're actually going about this with some of our clients, still helping them get results, still helping them have like consultations, then go ahead and book a call so you can speak with one of our team members, because we can help you.
Yeah.
And we would love to do that. So
yes, we're here for you guys.
Yeah, so let us know what we can, how we can help you, how we can serve you. If you have questions, if you have concerns, feel free to post them as a comment or post them on our Facebook group, because that will give us some really good content for us to talk about in some of our other episodes, or we can just answer right then and there on our Facebook support group. So I want to encourage you guys to take advantage of that during this time, so we can really make sure that we can all kind of push each other forward, so we can all come out on top.
Yeah, definitely. I love that.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in this week. We will go ahead and catch you all next week. But like Billy said in the beginning, make sure to subscribe, to like, to leave us a review, to join the Facebook group. And again, lastly, don't forget to go and sign up for the Med Spa Survival Guide. Hope you all enjoy that. Thank you, and we'll catch you all next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.